Welcome to Top 30. I'm Kristen Smith.
And I'm Richard Bacon, and here are the top 30 stories in 30 minutes.
The CDC Advisory Committee has recommended flu mist come back for the 2018-2019 flu season. It's an influenza vaccine in the form of a nasal spray. Licensed for people between the ages of 2 and 49, flu mist was pulled from the market in 2016 due to poor performance. And the U.S. women's hockey team won gold in a shocking 3-2 upset over Team Canada. It's been 20 years since they last won gold in 1998, and the first ever shootout in Olympic women's hockey history.
To keep Canada's hopes alive, she is stopped! The United States wins gold in Pyeongchang!
And Jane Seymour, best known for her role on Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, posed for Playboy for the third time. She's 67 and looks incredible. Richard, you have some business news for us?
Indeed. Let's go to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute today with Jerry Willis. Jerry, I hear that Twitter is making some important changes.
That's right, Richard. Twitter is finally cracking down on bots. Twitter banning people from using software to simultaneously perform actions like retweeting or liking tweets. Twitter is also cracking down on users posting identical messages from multiple accounts. Toys R Us is planning to close another 200 stores and lay off what they call a significant number of corporate employees. Once a titan in the toy sales space, Toys R Us has struggled in recent years because of companies like Amazon and Walmart. Toys R Us filed for bankruptcy back in September. And Walmart launching a home site for furniture and other decorative home goods. The site will feature a selection of products from a wide range of categories like modern, farmhouse, and bohemian.
Jerry, is this a response to Walmart's disappointing online sales?
Well, it could be. Walmart hoping to challenge retailers like IKEA and Wayfair, which promote affordability. Sofas will start at $149, twin mattresses starting at $59, rugs at $17.
From the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, Jerry, thank you.
A surprising new study might make you think twice about how you clean your kitchen. A team of UK scientists asked families to clean kitchen countertops with antibacterial wipes. Scientists then took swabs at regular intervals to see how long they stayed clean. The answer was not long. The first swab was taken after 1 hour. It already had bacteria and fungal growth. Some of the germs grow back in as little as 20 minutes. One of the scientists said, the minute you walk around your kitchen, you're shedding bacteria and fungi into the area again, and it's just recolonizing. Many of the bacteria are harmless to humans. There are still some steps you can take in order to stay safe. Experts say to always clean your counters after handling raw meat. It's also a good idea to do it with a fresh sponge. A recent study found 75% of sponges and dishcloths were contaminated with coliform bacteria, the germ family that includes E. coli. The scientists also recommend staying away from those expensive antibacterial wipes. They're not as effective as good old-fashioned soap and water. It's no secret that Olympians have been using dating apps like Tinder and Bumble while competing in Pyeongchang. But what they may not realize is that with Tinder's premium access, users are able to change their location using the passport feature. So they could be chatting with people who aren't even in South Korea. According to Tinder Statistics, passporting is up 1,850% because thousands of users are changing their location to Pyeongchang, hoping to meet an Olympian. Use of the Tinder app at the Olympic Village is up 348%, and there's been a 644% increase in matches. The majority of these location cheaters are coming from the US, followed by Sweden and the UK. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to hear all of the "this is how we met" stories when the Olympians get back to the US.
Welcome back. So a new survey found that 29% of people have their phone with them at every single meal, and only 17% said they never bring their phone with them to a meal.
Interesting.
Kristen, I'm sure you agree with me. That is a disgrace.
I do agree with you, actually.
They said this day would never come.
But here we are. My dad actually has a rule when we go home to see my parents, no phone at the dinner table.
Good for him.
And I pass that on to my kids as well. And I always say to my son, people are more important than phones.
They are. Eye contact.
Yes.
This is annoying conversation. This is real conversation.
This is real conversation.
Real conversation.
Right here.
And here's the thing. Most Americans prefer eating food in front of the television to talking to friends and family.
So sad.
No, it's not sad. There they are right now, the dear viewers, eating their food. And what they're saying is they prefer us to friends and family. And I get that.
Let's talk about this bullying scandal at the Olympics. So a South Korean speed skater fell behind her other two teammates in an event where they were all on the ice together, causing them to get a slower time. Well, listen to this. The two teammates shunned her while she cried after the race, and one of them went on national TV and blamed her for not keeping up. You know, in South Korea, it's looked down upon to publicly call out a teammate or coworker, and this is such a big deal that 500,000 South Koreans have now signed this online petition to get these women kicked off the team.
When this segment is over, it'll be 500,001, Kristen.
Oh.
I have my name to this petition. Now, I do think it's an interesting cultural discussion because I think in America, it's very much, okay, you didn't do good enough, and you do call people out, right? In sport here, it's not just like, you know, it's part of motivating them to do better.
But on that same note, I mean, I'm a former athlete, and I think about the concept of team and sportsmanship. And when someone on the team does badly, the whole team does badly, and you guys kind of go down together. When someone does great, we all celebrate. You know what I mean? So the issue of sportsmanship, should the women have bullied the other one? Probably not.
The cultural distinction is interesting, and I find their reaction kind of charming. Rather than a petition that says, sack that woman from the team for not doing well enough, they're saying, sack the people who did really well for not being polite.
Right.
It's sort of the opposite of American.
It's the principle.
It's the principle. I think it's kind of charming. There are some pictures from the promo shoot for, you know, this new movie, Red Sparrow, starring Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. There's
a backlash to this photo. Have a look at Jennifer Lawrence in a very cold London. So
basically, she is wearing this gorgeous Versace gown. It's plunging neckline, the slits up to here, and all the men in the photo are very covered up, dressed casually.
Yeah.
And so people are saying, okay, what the heck? Why is she wearing this dress?
Like, she could have chosen to wear a Versace coat over her Versace dress. It just seems to me...
Right.
I can't see anything that suggests anything other than this is her choice.
I agree with that part. I think as women, we do choose to wear what we wear. But on the same note, I think there's this underlying, I think women, we are conditioned to dress to impress, regardless of the environment. And I think it comes from this notion, whether subconscious or conscious, that we need to earn our keep. So Richard, Jennifer Lawrence addressed the controversy on her Facebook page, calling it utterly ridiculous. She added, I was outside for 5 minutes. I would have stood in the snow for that dress because I love fashion, and that was my choice. And she's rocking that dress, that's for sure. Okay, Top 30, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. High school students and parents are demanding answers after the high school shooting in Parkland, Florida, that claimed 17 lives. This week, Florida Senator Marco Rubio faced a crowd that wanted him to explain his stance on guns, and here is one particularly powerful exchange.
Were guns the factor in the hunting of our kids?
They were. If I believed that law would have prevented this from happening, I would support it. But I want to explain to you why it would not.
That is an absolutely astonishing bit of television. It is emotional. It's democracy in action. It is people being held to account. I was utterly gripped by the entire thing.
Yeah, and you could cut the emotion really with the knife. Parents of students who had lost their lives were there. Survivors of the shooting were there. And so the emotions were high. I think Marco Rubio anticipated an emotionally charged event. He anticipated the booze that we saw.
In that clip there, they were talking about a potential ban on assault weapons. And one of Marco Rubio's arguments against it that he's made this week is that people determined to get guns like that will just be able to get them anyway. That is not a logic that he applies to many other areas of law. He doesn't say people who want drugs, who are determined to take drugs, will get them anyway, so let's just sell them in shops.
Right. I think if there's any bright spot in what happened is that the conversation is being had, I should say, on a grand platform. People are being listened to by all of us watching, you know?
Yeah. I think lots of other countries in the world ought to have more events like this.
All right, well, here is a shocking story. Almost every woman in the entertainment industry has been sexually harassed. 94% of women in a new survey say they've been harassed or abused by someone in a position of power. I think to a lot of people that is shocking. To someone as an insider in the entertainment industry, you know, I've been in the news business for 15 years now.
Are you in the 94%?
Not only am I in the 94%, Richard, but as someone in the industry, I would be shocked to hear someone who hasn't been sexually harassed. Quite honestly, looking at the criteria, just breaking down this study, unwelcome sexual comments, jokes, or gestures, 87% say yes, absolutely. Witnessing others experiencing unwanted forms of sexual comments, 75%. Being touched in a sexual way, 69%. I went down this list, Richard, and personally, I have no problem sharing. 6 out of 9 experiences I've personally encountered more than once.
That's incredible.
I can't imagine being in this industry as a woman and not being harassed in one or more of these ways. So is it sobering? Yes. Is it shocking to me? Absolutely not. But I do think with the Me Too campaign and different things that are happening now, it's a different world now. We know that. You know, I think these stats are going to turn around. And I know I'm an optimist, but...
Well done, though, for being so, you know, frank and honest there. You know, that's not an easy thing to do on television.
Well, now I think myself and a lot of women today do feel empowered and feel like, you know what, we can talk and people are actually listening, you know. All right, well, good conversation. Let's keep it going. In the meantime, Top 30, we'll be right back. In today's Hometown Stories from Fox 26 Houston, for those with autism like Parker Smith and Michael Wilson, finding work can be a challenge, but nonprofit Social Motion is changing that. The organization offers training for job interviews and etiquette. They also send a designated job coach to help once the client is hired. Thanks to Social Motion, Parker and Michael have jobs at Clear Lake Infinity. Shining examples of hard work and dedication, their boss believes more employers should embrace adults with challenges. Our next story from Fox 2 Detroit. In response to America's growing opioid crisis, the Troy Police Department is doing their part with the Hope Not Handcuffs program. Those looking for help are encouraged to come to the police station where they'll be paired with a program to help kick the habit.
Not only are we out there arresting people, but we can at least be part of offering a resource to help people recover and treat their addictions.
So far, the program has helped over 900 people. Our final story from KTVU, 11-year-old Ty Whistler has medulloblastoma, a rare form of brain cancer. But a surprise visit from the Stanford basketball team during his treatment offered him hope in many ways. The team has formed a close bond with Ty, inviting him to games and dinners when he's in town for treatment.
They don't even realize, I don't think, how powerful the healing aspect has been for Ty and letting him believe in himself and stand back up again and fight.
And they were there the day he got the best news of all. His tumor had shrunk.
The cost of a plane ticket is generally meant to just cover the expense of the flight. So have you ever wondered how much the airlines are actually making off each ticket? The Wall Street Journal looked at the 7 largest airlines in America and found that the average profit per passenger for a one-way flight in 2017 was $17.75. This puts profit margins at about 9%. Whilst that might not sound like a lot, it adds up, and it's nearly double the amount that other airlines around the world make per passenger. The profits mainly come from all the extra charges like baggage fees, seat fees, reservation change, and cancellation penalties. According to transportation data, airlines in the US were on track to make more than $4 billion in baggage fees and $3 million in reservation and cancellation fees. It is interesting to note that Southwest Airlines maintained the highest profit margins at 16.5% without charging baggage fees.
There's a brand new attraction coming to Disney World this summer, and Jason Matheson, host of The Jason Show on Fox 9 in Minneapolis, has all the magical details. Jason?
Hey, Kristen. Well, the happiest place on earth is about to be extra happy because for the first time in many years, Walt Disney World in Orlando is adding a new park. Well, it's actually a park within a park. Toy Story Land is opening, and now we have a date, June 30th at Disney Hollywood Studios. And this is a really big deal because this is really going to usher in, and I'm a Disney expert, this is going to usher in a new era at Walt Disney World because historically, Disney's Hollywood Studios is the least visited park of all 4. But now this is opening, and then in 2019, Star Wars Land will open. So get your tickets and get ready to feel very small. Kristen?
Well, just when you think Disney couldn't get any happier, it does. Thanks, Jason. When Army vet Barry Carlton lost his leg in a tragic motorcycle accident 6 years ago, his family was just happy he survived. Although she wasn't even engaged yet, his daughter Shelby said she immediately started thinking about her wedding day. She said, "I thought, who's gonna walk me down the aisle? Who's gonna dance with me? Who's gonna do that?" So when the day came that Shelby got engaged to her now husband Shane, her dad immediately got to work with rehabilitation, determined to walk his daughter down the aisle. Barry improved so much he was eventually able to walk with a crutch. And Shelby said of her 2014 wedding, when it came time to dance, he flung his crutch to the side and everybody erupted into applause. We danced the entire song. We did get to walk together and we did get to dance together and do these amazing things. Shelby said she gave him butterfly kisses while they danced, something he did on her cheek before bed every night when she was a child.
Experts have long debated whether low-fat diets or low-carb diets are better for weight loss, and the answer is neither. The two eating styles helped dieters lose almost exactly the same amount of weight, this according to a new study done by Stanford University. The researchers told half of their subjects to cut back on carbohydrates and the other half to reduce the amount of fat they ate. After a year, the low-fat group lost an average of 11 pounds. The low-carb group lost about 13. Both groups were asked to avoid sugar, refined grains and processed foods. They had no restrictions on calories or the size of the portions they ate. They were told to eat as many vegetables and whole foods as they wanted to keep them from feeling hungry. Participants were also encouraged to do more cooking at home and sit down for structured meals with family. The study's authors now believe the quality of the calories people take in is more important than the quantity they cut out.
With millions of products on store shelves, picking the right one can seem like a challenge. Steve Noviello from Fox 4 Dallas says looking for the Product of the Year designation should be a good start. Hi, Steve.
Hey, Kristen, 40,000 consumers can't be wrong. That's how many take part in the Product of the Year Awards, the largest look at consumer product innovation of its kind. Starting with this right here, consumers said, look, we want a great grab-and-go breakfast that's also healthy, and they chose this. This is from Sandwich Brothers, their egg white and turkey sausage sandwich, microwavable, 150 calories with 11 grams of protein in it. Skipping down here, take a look at this. Everybody's got some Purell on their desk right now. We're constantly sanitizing the hands. Now, the same great effectiveness is available in a multi-surface disinfectant. This is great for any sort of food contact surfaces, is pet, kid, and food friendly also. Links to all these products right now when you come see me online, facebook.com/SaveMeSteve.
Well, you know what they say, the customer is always right, and that definitely rings true with these products. Thanks, Steve. CoverGirl's latest commercial poses the question, why try to blend in when you can choose how to stand out? And while the brand is trying to sell its True Blend foundation, the spokesmodel starring in the ad is definitely standing out in her own way. Amy Deanna is CoverGirl's first spokesmodel with vitiligo. According to the Mayo Clinic, vitiligo is a disease that causes loss of skin coloration in blotches. Her commercial is a part of CoverGirl's I Am What I Make Up campaign, which aims to celebrate the power to be who you are and who you want to be, according to a tweet from the brand. Deanna hopes to use her platform as a CoverGirl to spread a message of inclusivity in the beauty and fashion industries. She told People magazine, I believe that inclusiveness will challenge unrealistic beauty standards within the beauty industry and in humanity. And her positive message reinforces, once again, that beauty comes in all shapes, all sizes, and all colors.
A petty act of vandalism has turned into an international incident. During an ugly sweater party at the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia last year, a man sneaked into a roped-off exhibition of Chinese warrior statues. The FBI says the man grabbed one of the statue's hands, broke off its thumb, and put it in his pocket. The cavalryman statue is about 2,000 years old. It's worth about $4.5 million. The FBI arrested Michael Rahana at his parents' house in Delaware after he produced the thumb from a desk drawer. China now says Rahana must be, quote, severely punished. An official called the warrior statues national treasures. The museum says it has changed its security protocols to prevent another incident.
Alberta Health is pouring $11 million into a program that dispatches specially trained paramedics to the homes of the elderly so they don't have to go to the emergency room. The funding will pay for 20 additional full-time community paramedics to join the already existing team of about 30 that service those throughout Alberta. The province's associate health minister said these paramedics are effective and compassionate frontline workers, helping Albertans get the right care at the right time, right in their own homes. The paramedics are trained in IV treatments, blood transfusions, wound treatment and stitches, as well as diagnostics and electrocardiograms. 96-year-old resident Yvonne Rutledge is singing the program's praises, saying they're very, very good, very compassionate. I think they're wonderful. The expansion is expected to take place through the spring. Hey, Richard, what's coming up on our next show?
Kristen, we're talking about student debt. American students are borrowing more but paying less. Plus, scientists believe they've uncovered the secret to long life, but their findings are a surprise. And one teen thinks a new movie is so important she's raising money for other children to go and see it. Top 30 also covers more of the day's stories live on Facebook daily, 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern. It is all coming up on the next Top 30.